Where is reinforcement learning today, and what's sort of trajectory for RL frameworks going ahead from now?
The key principle of reinforcement learning is trial and error. So, which is exactly like the human learning process. You try something new, you failed, you fine tune your stuff, you try it again. Trial and error.
Dr. Max Lee is a researcher at Open Oracle Research. He is building decentralized AI systems where transparency, not trust, is the foundation.
Blockchain can record any information and make it immutable, but it cannot stop the bad transactions or criminal transactions. But the only thing is like if you do criminal transaction, I can trace you back. Would you upload all your private information like your bank statement, your personal ID to ChatGPT? And of course, he may help you a lot. But would you do that?
Hello, Max. Welcome to Alpha Nash.
Hello, hey. Thank you very much for inviting me here. I'm very happy to be here to share what I have done in the past few years.
Yeah, I think you've got a lot to share, given your background and experience. But Max, let's try. Let's dive in straight in. Why is decentralized AI even a thing, and why is it important?
I've been in the AI space for many years. I have many friends, and also, my students they graduated from Columbia University, and they're now working in different AI companies, and they're working in Silicon Valley and Shanghai, China, many places in the world, and they all working on the centralized AI, which is we all know that's like ChatGPT, like a DeepSeek. All these AI models are centralized, right? So it seems like everyone is very exciting about what has been achieved by these AI models and these applications. But when we talk about the massive adoption, at the end of the day, it's all about business. People are not selling apps. People need selling products for massive adoption, right? But when you sell your AI product to the customers for massive adoption, the key is about the big blocker we all see basically is about the trust. So if you don't trust this AI, you will not buy it. You will not buy the service. For example, I'm pretty sure you also use ChatGPT or DeepSeek or something like that, right? So can I ask you this question? So I know you may use the ChatGPT to edit your email, your draft, or your whatever, right? But would you upload all your private information like your bank statement, your personal ID, your contract with the companies, with your employers to ChatGPT? And then you ask him some questions, right? So and ChatGPT, of course, if ChatGPT has your document, and of course he may help you a lot, right? But would you do that? Of course, I ask this question to many people. People say no, of course not. I would not ChatGPT to access my phone, to access my laptop, my computer, to get all the private information from me, right? Why? Because you don't have trust. And how can we, and then that I see so many companies in Silicon Valley, they build very cool AI applications like a travel planning, like payments, and etc., right? But at the end of the day, when they talk to the customer, I say, hey, this is the payment AI agent can help you make your payment, right? But you need to share all your payment credentials,
Right.
your cars or whatever, to this AI agent. Would you do that? Of course not. I don't trust it, right? So that's all about the trust. And how can we build the trust if we know this is a big problem for massive adoption in the coming years? And how can we build the trust? So why, or we can think about this. Why you don't have this trust on this AI? The reason is transparency, because you have no idea about how this AI model is built and what
Mhm.
data and the fine-tuned data are used by this AI model, right? And
Mhm.
all when you use it, all the documents you uploaded, you feed into this AI model, where are they stored, and how the AI gonna use them, right? Is there some leakage, information leakage to a 3rd party, right? So if the AI doing something wrong, can I stop it, right? So if the AI agent use my payment card, credit card information to pay for many stuff, can I stop it? Right? So if you don't know for now, unfortunately, we have zero knowledge about this stuff, this information.
So what I hear you say, Max, is that trust as AI, and there is already massive adoption happening, and it's just going to be go beyond the conversational AI that is there right now into actually probably an agentic framework where everybody's using AI to kind of support their everyday lives in many ways,
Right.
and that's where sort of trust is going to be become even more important. We'll come back to that. Before we dive into that, can you share some interesting stories of your experience? You've been a telecom researcher, sort of an OG
Sure.
in the 5G space, and then you moved on to academia, and then finally now you're also one of the OGs in the decentralized AI and crypto space. So share with us a little bit about your sort of whole experience and journey so far.
Sure, it's an interesting journey. Basically, my first job was working with the Qualcomm research as a 5G researcher, right? So I started my 5G research like 13 years ago at Qualcomm Research,
Hmm.
one of the first guys in the research team to do the job. And I was very excited about that. And it's very hardcore technology. We're designing algorithm signaling in the chip, in the 5G chip, which is in your phone right now, right? So and after my tenure at Qualcomm, I feel that I will be more interested in AI and the blockchain, right? And all of course the technology and techniques I mastered uh, in Qualcomm
Hmm.
can be applied to academia by nature, right? It's all about math, basically. So, and then I joined Columbia and I started to teach reinforcement learning, which is a learning course. And I start to teach blockchain technology. So I start to teach blockchain technology back to 2017 because you know what
Hmm.
happened in 2017, right? So is the year of ICO, and
Hmm.
it's crazy. And then
Hmm.
lots of students they talk to the department, they requested the department to open a course on blockchain because the students want to learn what it is, right? And then I opened this course as a one as the first. It's not one of the first. It's the first, only one,
Hmm.
at Columbia at that
Okay.
time, and also one of the first in the whole United States, right?
Okay.
And then yeah, and the class was very popular. It's like 150 students in a class, even larger than undergrad. But this class is a graduate level courses. And then I devote myself, dedicated my time and effort into blockchain and AI for many years, right? And then I found that there is some big problems in AI, which is centralized AI, which is the trust, the transparency, all these type of things, which I just shared, right?
Mm.
So that motivates me to do the DAI stuff back to 2018. As I said, in that year, there's no such concept at all, right? So even at that time, we don't call it internally, we don't call it a decentralized AI. We just call it, distributed cloud or
Distributor.
decentralized cloud or something like that, right?
Mm.
And then we found that there's lots of technical hurdles there. It's not easy job, and then we just keep building and keep doing research with my colleague and the students at Columbia, and then started from 2018. We spent 3 years to get a patent, to get a paper published, and then 2021 we decided to bring this to market, commercialize it, and now we're doing very well. So we're the first. I would say it's leading the whole space right now.
Right. And when we talk about this decentralized AI space, what does it sort of really comprise of? If I look at the AI stack, for example, we've got data and data storage, then there's compute, and I'd add sort of verifiability of the data, and possibly going ahead, a distributed or decentralized sort of collaboration for creating AI frameworks. So if is that how you would look at the AI stack completely?
Exactly. So, if you, from a technical perspective, how we define the decentralized AI, right? What's the definition? It's actually is very close to what you just said. So, for AI, for all the AI development process, there's four key stages. The first is the data collection and labeling, or you call it the data pre-processing, right? And then the storage, data storage. Once you collected this data, where you store this data, right? And the next one is compute, which means the model training and the model fine tuning. You use this data to tune and train the model. And then the last one is about inference, right? So basically, for now, for centralized AI, let's say ChatGPT, what for us, like a regular users like you and me, what we got engaged is only the last step, the inference. And of course, this is still centralized, right? So every single stage of this whole development
Hmm.
process is centralized, is in some server right now. Let's say OpenAI server on Microsoft server, right?
Hmm.
But decentralized AI from technical perspective, we want to decentralize every single stage I mentioned,
Hmm.
starting from data collection, data
Yeah.
storage, model training, fine tuning, and inference.
Sense.
So I see some projects they are working on some part of the this decentralization. For example, like in academia for now, people all talk about like a edge AI, means like a AI at the edge. They put AI in your phone, in your
Hmm.
laptop. They call it. They
Yeah.
have this AI PC, right? They have this
Hmm.
AI PC, AI phone. So that is the last support, the AI at the edge, which is the inference. So this can definitely help user to protect itself, like a private information, because you don't need to upload your information to the central server,
Hmm.
to OpenAI, for example, right? So it's all in local in your phone. And for us, we want to build this platform to provide solutions for all these stages.
Okay, if we kind of get into a little bit of each of those, take data itself. Data getting labeled in a decentralized framework doesn't necessarily mean that it is it is verifiable data. How does blockchain help in the verifiability of data, and more importantly, ensuring that the sort of data source is authentic?
Very good question. So actually, many people ask me that, for decentralized AI, what role the blockchain is playing in this full stack. And my answer so far is it plays two functionalities. The first is about what you just asked, the data verification. All right. So in general, we just call it verification.
Mm,
And the second is payment. Is payment, right? Because now you need contribution from the crowd. There's
mm,
many people around the world, and you have to pay. People
mm,
work not for free, right?
mm,
So you have to pay, and the traditional payment system may not work, and
mm,
crypto is the only way. Is the only solution so far. Okay, so that for the payment part is easy to understand. So for the
mm,
verification, back to your question. So the blockchain can work in such a way to secure and protect the data for AI model is like, first of all, like what we have built in our OORT Data Hub product is like all the data collected from the people around the world when they submit the
mhm,
data. So this whole data collection process will be recorded on blockchain, and you know that's where this data and where and when the
mm,
data are uploaded to the data set, right? So this is all transparent and
mm.
cannot be changed forever.
So there's an immutable traceability already attached to each data set.
Exactly. Every, not only data set, but every single data point in the data set,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Because you crowdsource the data points from millions of people around the world,
Hmm.
right? So okay, so that's good, and this then people can tell, oh, this data set is very good. It's not a biased data set. Is a
Mm,
cross-sourcing, sourced data set from like millions of people around the world. Blah blah blah. There's lots of information you can share from this blockchain recorded information, and then this is the way to build. This is what we mean the transparency, and then this can lead to the trust, right?
mhm,
And the second is about like the verification, let's say model verification, not only data. You can do model verification, right?
mm,
And also the data
yeah.
verification, and also the training process verification, right?
Mhm,
So if I claim I use this data set, for example, to train this model, if you want people to trust you about what you
mm,
claim, you have to show them the proof, right? And this proof will be recorded on blockchain. It's like, okay,
mm,
when I do the model training, for example, I use this data set A to train my ChatGPT 5, for example, right? And when I read this data set from the server to train a model, this whole process will be recorded on blockchain. And then later
mhm,
on, I will show people that, yeah, you see that this is the data set I use for model train, right? And this data set is all source is cross-sourced from millions of people around the world. So everything is recorded on blockchain and it can be is immutable and it can be traceable. So this kind of a transparency is necessary
right,
for people to build trust, right?
mhm, yep,
And this is exactly what is lacking for all the centralized AI right now.
right. Okay, so that's the first part of the whole AI stack. Now, getting to sort of data storage, for example. Why
Mhm.
do we need a sort of blockchain based approach? Distributed storage has also been there without blockchain technology, right?
So yeah, I would say that actually when I working in when I was working at Qualcomm like many years ago, at that time there's no blockchain. But we already start to build a decentralized storage solution.
Mm,
But at that time, there's a little bit different. For that, is
mm,
like, okay, let me tell you this. When we talk about decentralized storage or decentralized cloud compute, we
mm,
mean two things. One is the physical layer, which means like, oh, these servers, we have these servers around the world, and the file will be processed, will be stored on these servers. So
mm,
in a decentralized way, this is a physical layer. And
right.
another layer is the governance layer, right? So let me tell you this example. Let's say, yeah, all the files you upload to AWS so are stored in thousands of small nodes around the world. Yes, indeed, it's a decentralized storage, but
Mm,
all these nodes are controlled by Amazon,
control.
right? So this is a governance layer. The governance
Mm,
layer is still centralized. Then this is, in my view, this is not a decentralized storage, right? Because Amazon
right.
again can do whatever they want on your file.
Mm,
They can delete it, they can manipulate it, they can
mm,
hide it, they can do whatever they want. They can block your account. You have
mm,
no access anymore, right?
yeah.
So then in Web 2, before the blockchain, back to your question. So when people talk about decentralized storage, people only talk about the physical layer, but
Not
still
the
it's
governance.
controlled, not the
Mm,
governance layer. It still is
yeah.
controlled by a single entity. But now, when blockchain came in, now we are
Mm,
talking about these two layers, decentralization on these two layers. So then this is very important to decentralized AI because now it's like if I contribute my data set for some model,
mm,
it's only me can make any changes on this data set. So because
correct.
only me have this private key can
Private key.
access to the
Mm,
file and can make
yeah.
changes, delete it, and manipulate it, whatever. Right?
Mm,
No one else in the world can do it
mm,
if without the private key. So that's the key principle of decentralization, in my view. When we have, so that's also the key contribution for blockchain, basically,
mm.
right?
And the fact that we've got incentivization or financialization built into blockchain now again
Mhm.
helps in putting together a distributed storage ecosystem
Exactly.
on chain, which
Right.
incentivizes everyone to contribute storage, right?
Yeah, contribute stories, space, that's important, right? So, yeah,
Let's move on to the next part of the stack, the model training, for
the
example.
training. Hmm.
Right. So, I mean, essentially, we're talking about again compute, or you're talking how will what exactly do you mean by decentralized training?
Yeah, you call it decentralized compute or decentralized training or fine tuning. So we all know there's quite a few projects out there in Web3 space working on this
Yeah.
topic. For example, Akash Network, IO.net, right, and Aether. There are quite a few of them, right?
Yeah.
So they are focusing on this topic right now. The basic idea is like how can we leverage the underutilized GPUs around the world as a big like a super cluster GPU
Mm,
cluster to train the
mm,
AI model. So
yeah.
from their point of view, the key beneficial of doing this is twofold. First is the cost. The cost could be much lower than going to Amazon or Google Cloud, right?
Mm,
So this is easy to understand. And the second part is people's access to massive computing power, right? For now, the computer power is only controlled by these centralized players,
right.
several of them, right? So,
Mm,
yeah, for many cases, I know this for some startups, they want to run some GPU to run to train their model, but when they go
mm.
to Amazon, they say, "Oh, there's no such resources." They have to wait. They have to. Then they have no alternative solution.
I mean, the whole idea is that everybody, like your MacBook right now, mine too has GPUs, compute in there. How can that be leveraged across a decentralized network? But is it also about sort of enterprise grade decentralization as well? For example, nodes of H100s contributing independently to a decentralized network where this could work as well, or do you think there is enough compute even on the GPUs on our personal computers to be able to run such a decentralized compute network?
So, to be honest, for now, if we want to use this decentralized compute network to do model training, so we usually only use enterprise level servers, like
Mm,
H100 or some or A100 or something like that. So NVIDIA cards, not the GPUs, laptop or your desktop. We all talk about servers. But the thing is, like, even for these servers, we have a public servers, we have private servers. So for there's a, around the world there's so many private servers, they have a good GPU cards from Nvidia, but they're idle. Most of the time they're
yeah.
idle. For example, these servers from in universities,
Hmm.
research labs, many they're not used,
Mm,
efficiently. So yeah, so this is what we're talking about. But now I would highlight two things about this. I would say the blockers for their business model, um, for this decentralized compute is like, um, first of all, the cost can be significantly lower,
hmm.
but the key blocker is about reliability. So because I talked to many, because first of all, I know all these projects, and the second,
Yeah.
I talked to many startups and AI companies in Silicon Valley. I recommend this decentralized compute platform to them and say, hey, why not use this? It's cheap, right? And but then if for non-critical job, let's say they just want to test some water, do some feasibility study, then they may use this decentralized GPUs because
Mm,
it's cheap. Okay, but when they seriously train their model, usually the model will be trained like for what 1 week or 1 month or even longer, right? It
mm,
depends on the model size and the data
yeah.
set size. They all go to Amazon again because they care about the reliability. Even they know this is more expensive, but
Mm,
this is reliable. So what happened, like if I use, for example, this decentralized compute network, okay, I run
mm,
the model for 5 days, and then suddenly you got me, oh, I lose everything because there's some problem in the network, blah, 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 blah.
mm,
Because these GPUs are contributed by the unknown people. You don't know them.
mm,
They come
mm,
from any place in the world, and even they just plug out their power and they go offline. how can you do, what can you do with it, right? You cannot fly to their place and say, hey, you damage my model training,
Mhm.
something like that, right? So there's no way to do so. So that's why, again, it's about the reliability. So when people care about the reliability more than the cost, they will still
Mm.
go to the centralized
Centralized. Yeah.
servers, right? So only when they do trivial tasks or
Yeah.
non-critical tasks, yeah, they don't care, right? So they just want to save some money, they may go to. But for this, the market size is small. The market size is small, right? So and I think this is the big problem for that vertical, decentralized compute. And
Compute.
how
Yeah.
can we build the reliability? We need technologies, not policies. We need the
Mm.
technologies, right? So and this is a pretty challenge.
Yeah, no, I can completely sort of identify with that. At Arna Protocol, which I founded, we bring a deep learning framework and tokenization together to create crypto structured products like AI quant structured products completely on chain. And for our AI training, even the entire data set management, the entire pipeline, everything. I always want to move it to a decentralized infrastructure, but
Uh-huh.
we're still on Amazon, and
Yeah.
so would love to kind of do that at once it reaches that level.
Right, exactly, exactly. So it's still
Right.
in a very early stage, and people
Mm.
don't want to be the guy who take the trial, right?
Mm.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, but that's a trending. That's trending for sure.
Right. And what would you say? I mean, especially in the way today's AI framework is, it's all sort of a lot of brute compute, so basically. And so with this approach of brute force computing, we the it's difficult to rely on a more decentralized compute infrastructure now. But AI, how do you see the AI is trajectory going to be? Is it going to be continuing to be in this form of brute force compute, or it will move into where you will actually get more AI power would be, you'll get sort of computation, you'll get models which are able to generate outcomes like today's large LLMs, let's say, but be able to run on much less compute, some even on edge compute. So in that case, decentralized compute could uh, suddenly take off.
Very good point. Very good point. I think for sure, for sure, people are. I want to say 2 points at this point, and first is the model will be smaller and smaller for sure,
Mm-hmm.
right? So you can see that the optimization on the model is ongoing research, and I know many smart people, many very top notch research centers, research labs, they are working on it. And actually, that's basically like a 10 years, at least 10 years ago, when I was at Qualcomm. So at that time, Qualcomm already started to do research on, reducing the model. At that time, it's not a large language model, it's just a deep learning model.
Mm-hmm.
So trying to optimize the deep learning model by remove the neurons in the model and make it smaller and smaller and the goal is to put it in your phone. So that's like 10 years ago. We already started
Mm-hmm.
this type of research. And I think like for now, people already have lots of like optimization approaches to reduce the size of the models. And
Mm-hmm.
at the end of the day, you will see that everything will be will be installed in your cell phone, or even smaller IoT devices. So that's for sure. That's for sure. And another on the other side, NVIDIA's latest research is like deliverables. Is like you can see they are trying to make their GPU powers more and more GPU more and more powerful,
Mm-hmm.
right? And with a lower cost and a smaller size. And so it means like uh, these two paths, you know, one on the one side is reducing the model, On the
Mm,
other side, make a GPU more and more powerful and cheaper, right,
mhm,
and smaller. So at the end of the day, they're gonna converge to something in your phone or in your PC or in some like a Apple TV type of a small devices, right?
mm,
So and then even in the training process and the fine tuning process will be much simpler,
mm,
much lower cost and much faster. At that time, like you said, you predict the the decentralized AI compute will take off. So I'm waiting for that moment, and I 100% agree with you. So that moment will come sooner or later. But it depends on the evolvement of evolving of these two paths I just mentioned.
and what's and you've been building OORT, and very aptly named after this hypothetical cloud in the universe. So tell us more about OORT, and what's your vision for OORT?
Well, yeah, you know that's let me tell you share a interesting story with you first, because this is related to our vision and the mission.
Mm-hmm.
So where the name come from? The ORT.
Mm.
Do you know ORT cloud? ORT cloud is a well-known concept. It's basically it's a cloud in our solar system, right?
Mm.
So it is recognized as the boundary of our solar system,
It's
and
hypothetical cloud.
no, it's a real cloud. It's a real cloud.
Okay.
There's a
Mm-hmm.
yeah, lots of dust in it. You know, it's very big one, and you know, it's a boundary of our solar system.
Mm.
So um, so far, we don't have any human-made devices going out of the OR cloud so far. All right.
Mm.
Um, but a few years ago, there's a research paper from MIT. I think it's from MIT. So they theoretically they proved that although like for now humans civilization is very low, you know it's not so advanced, right?
Mm.
So uh, but moving forward, we can be the civilization will be more and more advanced, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, but theoretically, what they proved that even no matter how advanced we are in terms of a technology, civilization, whatever. So
Mm.
there's no way for people, for human beings, to going out of or going beyond the Oort cloud. So that
Okay.
means the movies like Interstellar, for example,
Mm.
people
Mm.
travel through the wormhole, these type of things. They're not possible. Theoretically,
Uh-huh.
they're not
Very
possible.
good.
All right.
Uh-huh.
So then this is a very sad story. Means what? Means no matter how hard we try, how
Mm.
advanced we are,
Mm.
we forever will be in the solar system only. But you know,
Mm-hmm.
solar system is only a sand, a grain of sand in the whole universe,
Mm.
right? So this is a very sad story, but this motivates me to think about this name as ORT as a project name, because we know that this is now is not a boundary of a solar system, but it's
Mm.
also the boundary of human civilizations. So this is my view. All right, and then I borrow this name to be the name of a project because I know that I cannot go beyond this boundary, but I'm trying to
Mm.
touch the boundary. So
Mm-hmm.
in the AI space,
Mm-hmm.
so that's the motivation for the name.
All
And
right. Wow.
so
Very interesting. Mm-hmm.
yeah, I just want to try to touch the boundary, right? So
Boundary.
if I
Mm.
can touch the boundary, I must
Mm.
be the best in the field. In
Mm-hmm.
the field, and so that's our now once we have this story in our mind, now our vision and mission is like we want to be the leader in the DAI space, which the position us as the pioneer in the DAI space, because we all believe the DAI space, the DAI,
Mm.
decentralized AI, will be the mainstream topic in the coming years, maybe coming five
Mm.
years, 10 years, or something. So far,
Mm.
is still very very early stage. If you talk to people who are not in the Web3 space, they don't know what you are talking about, the
Mm.
DAI, right? Very few people know it. But but this is the big opportunity for sure, right? Because if you want to be the pioneer, you have to come up with some novel stuff that people never
Mm,
know before, right? So yeah, so we want to lead the whole space, and by delivering high quality products,
mhm.
and to help AI companies or AI builders to build a transparent and a trustworthy AI for humanity. So I think that's the right thing to do.
That's a great and inspiring vision. How do you how do how do you balance your life of academia with the hustle of a startup, and that too a crypto startup, which is even more of a hustle than a Web 2 startup.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. Web3 startup is like everything is running in the crypto speed, right?
Mhm.
So yeah, the balance, I would say the balance is not easy. So I'm first of all, I'm a person that who used to this multitask management.
Mm,
But the best thing for me is like now the research, academia research, and the startup OORT, they're fully aligned. They're fully aligned because my
mhm,
research, my students and my colleagues at Columbia, they do research on decentralized AI as well. So is you can view this as a research division of the whole project, right? So so it's a fully aligned. So that's the best part. Um, yeah. So that's how I can manage these two things because they're essentially they're one thing.
and tell me a little bit more about art. How large are you guys now? How many? What's the teams, and how is it spread around? I would love to learn that.
Yeah, sure, sure, of course. Now we have I think around 40 people. So
Okay.
at the peak, like 2 years ago during the pandemic, we have almost
Mm,
80. And then
mhm,
we found that we need to control the budget, and also we need to fully leverage AI tools to improve the efficiency. And that means like we can downsize the team, right? So because we leverage AI tools. So yeah, the headquarters is based in New York, and we have employees and offices in different countries because we have a business around the world. Our
mhm.
communities are all around the world as well.
Yeah.
So we have team members in Canada, in Bulgaria, Turkey, uh,
Mhm.
uh, Malaysia, Hong Kong, China, mainland China, is all over the place, and Spain. So it's covered many time zones. And one joke is like in one of our management call, I told that yeah, we need to hire someone from Hawaii to cover that time zone because we already cover all the other time zones. So it's a
Right.
pretty decentralized, but it's a very lots of fun because people come from different country, they have different background, different culture, and how to efficiently communicate with different people from different country, right? So it's not easy, especially as a management team members like the department has. So
Mm,
it's more challenge, right? Talk to different people with
mm.
a different culture. So yeah, it's lots of fun.
The odds token is already out. You already had your TGE.
Yeah, we did our TG like 1 year ago, in
Yep.
January 2024.
Mm,
And yes, the TG was very successful. So far, it's doing well. The micro market is not doing well these days, and we're not exceptional.
mm,
But in a short run, it's only short run stuff, right? So in the long run, I have no concern about it because we know what we're building, and we're the best thing is like we're one of the few projects in the Web3 space who
mm.
generate strong real revenues.
Right.
This is
Okay.
pretty rare in the
Mm,
Web3 space. Because we have real products, we have paying customers. They are Web2 customers. They're not Web3.
mm,
They have no idea about Web3 stuff, but we do resolve their key issues by, for example, like we help AI company to quickly collect a high quality data set for their
Mm,
model training, right?
mm,
So without us, it's a very challenge for them to collect this data for their model training. So and we see a pipeline of clients waiting there. They already want to work with us to get the data set, high quality data set. Of course, they have to pay, but they wish to pay, right? So so that's why I said in the long run, so we will be very strong, and also we are focusing on the data hub product right now, which is the
mm-hmm.
we want to build it as the world's largest high quality AI data collection platform by the end of
Okay.
this year.
Mm-hmm.
So far, we just launched this product for like more than 2 months or something, and we already have 120,000 users, data
Mm-hmm.
contributors, and our
Contributors. Okay.
daily active data contributors or daily active users is
Mm,
already go above 30K.
okay. And what do these data contributors do?
So we assign lots of if you download our app, the OORT
Mm,
wallet, you will see that you registered, and then you will see lots of AI data collection tasks. For example, like
mm-hmm.
I need you to do selfie, right, with a smile, and I need you to take a
Okay.
picture or a short video of your backyard,
Mm,
something like that. You will see lots of AI data collection tasks for model training. So for each task, we will give you the background, and we will tell you how your data will be used
mm,
in a model, in the AI agent or something like that. And
right.
then we collect lots of good data sets right now, and we deliver some data set to the company. And
Mm,
also we upload some data set, like just a few days ago, we upload some data set to Kaggle. You know Kaggle?
of course.
So
Mm,
yeah, Kaggle dataset, and now it's in the trending right now, and we already
okay.
see many downloads and good comments. So
Mm.
we are already making contribution to the whole AI society.
So it looks like most of these data contributions are around data for image processing, or for example, do you have what are the different buckets of data?
Yeah, we have for now we have three type of data:
Mm-hmm.
the audio data, the image
Okay.
data, and the video data.
And what about financial applications? Are there any thoughts around uh, creating a data hub for blockchain based transactions, which could be used for example in DeFi, a real hub for financial data?
Of course, our app product already support that. So let's say, for example, if you are interested in this data set, just tell me what you need, what's your
Mm,
request, right, about the structure of the data set, and we
mm,
will ask all our community members, 120,000 users, to get the data for you. So they may go to online, go to the blockchain explorer to
mm.
get the data and upload it to your data set. Yeah, it's a low hanging fruit for us.
Now you've also authored a book on reinforcement learning, and
Hmm.
you've taught reinforcement learning. Can you share some more about that, and what and where is reinforcement learning today, and and what's sort of trajectory for RL frameworks going ahead from now, if you look at the next few years?
Well, that's a for the AI space, the whole AI space.
Uh,
There are three categories. So one is we call it supervised learning,
yeah.
right? And the second is unsupervised
Also.
learning. The third is reinforcement learning. So they are different, but they are integrated together for many AI applications,
Uh,
right? and and for reinforcement learning itself is evolving really fast also because now let's say in almost every AI applications you will see reinforcement learning
uh,
technology there inside. For example, large language model, right? When we train the large language model, we have this human in the loop, and the human in the loop for training and fine tuning. In the back end, actually we're using reinforcement learning to fine tune the model, right?
mhm.
So yeah, and in finance, there's a lots of applications that you use reinforcement learning to get features and signals from tradings, trading strategies or something like that to fine tune your trading strategies, just
Mm,
like how people fine tune the large language model. Well, I would say that the reinforcement learning is strong, is very strong, and compared with unsupervised learning and the supervised learning, I think I see much bigger potential from reinforcement learning, because reinforcement learning is the only learning methodology which is mimic the human learning behavior. Supervised learning, unsupervised learning, they're not. Only
mm,
reinforcement learning. So
right.
the key principle of reinforcement learning is a
Yeah.
trial and error,
Uh,
right? So which is exactly like mimic the human learning process.
yeah.
You try something new, you failed, you fine tune your stuff, you try it again, trial and error, right?
Yeah. You get
So
rewarded and penalized
you
accordingly.
got a reward, exactly. So I see great potentials, and moving forward in autopilot system and everywhere, reinforcement learning will play a more and more important role.
So you mentioned reinforcement learning and how humans in the loop can actually are actually acting also to really move it forward. Maybe making these reinforcement learning models to be optimized or fine tuned even more. Is there an intersection that you see for RL frameworks and decentralized AI going ahead?
Oh yeah, of course. So because you see, in reinforcement learning, the key design is the reward function. And if you want to build decentralized AI, starting from the data collection and the labeling and data storage and the data compute,
Hmm.
decentralized compute, right? So you need to give rewards to the data contributors or storage and the computing power contributors. And when we talk about this reward, how can we optimize the whole system? So reinforcement learning is the key technology we can use to by designing the reward function. And in the
Hmm.
back end, we use reinforcement learning, and then we can optimize many things in the decentralized AI infrastructure or solutions. For example, uh, let's say if we want to design a reward, we need to give like an incentive mechanism or strategy to all the data, let's say, computing power or GPU contributors, right?
Hmm.
But it depends. But this reward should depends on the supply and the demand, right? So it's not like the story is not like, oh, the bigger the infrastructure is, the better. It's not,
Hmm.
right? So and then how can you optimize this supply and the demand, and by designing a dynamic reward mechanism.
Hmm.
So basically all these things can be done using reinforcement learning.
Going putting all of this in context and going back to the primary sort of objective of why, or reason for why decentralized AI is important, which is around trust. Building trust into the system in a systemic way for massive adoption. And you mentioned the point about when are we feeling secure to upload, for example, financial information or access to undertake transactions, for example. What if the AI model, what if the AI agent does something wrong? um, how in even in a decentralized infrastructure where this is running, how does this fix the issue of trust or the issue of mitigation in the event of an AI agent going rogue, for example?
Yeah, very good question. So first of all, I would say that decentralized AI is not the perfect solution to completely resolve the trust issue, right? So, but so far, this is the most promising approach.
Mm,
Um, so the decentralized AI can give people certain
mm,
transparency for AI in this AI development process. So with that level of transparency, you may this definitely can help you to build some trust on this AI model. For example, like if I know that, oh, ChatGPT GPT-5 is
Mm,
using this data set for their uh like say history knowledge training, right? So the history knowledge data set, it comes from these libraries, it comes from this online information, Wikipedia, for example, something like that, right?
mm,
Then I know that's okay. So this knowledge set is good, and the response from the GPT-5 when I ask for some history related questions,
mm,
it should be objective. It's not biased, right? So this is some way that I can build my trust on ChatGPT. But for now, I don't. The response could be very biased for some
mm,
questions, right? So yeah, and for computing and the storage is exactly the same logic. So if I know I have certain kind of transparencies, I may see that, oh, this model, let's say this is the open source model from llama 2, right?
mm,
So open source, okay, fine. And the llama 2 is use this particular data set to train this particular AI agent to help you to plan your travel, to help
mm,
you make a payment, something like that, right? And if I'm a coder, I'm a technical guy, I have my capability to check like if this is doable, if this is working or not, right?
mm.
So by using this data set, by using this model, blah blah blah, and then I may have my view that's how reliable this AI agent could be because I know
Right.
everything,
Mm,
right? So yeah, I would say this may definitely help people to build certain level of trust. But of
mm-hmm.
course, it's not 100%,
Yep.
right?
Right.
Uh, unless we have see this is could be a very good business idea. Like if there is a startup
Uh,
like a AI agent auditing firm have very strong technology, very comprehensive full stack technical tools to
uh,
audit this AI agent.
mm,
So I think this could be super good
mm,
business,
mm. There you go.
right?
We've got a business idea. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but in general, it's very tough, right? It's very tough.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, you need to test lots of things about this AI agent,
Mm,
security, like privacy, like
yeah.
unbiased, whatever, right?
Mm,
So lots of things. It's very challenging, but it's a very good business idea in this field. So far,
mm.
we don't have such a business,
Right.
but this is very necessary.
What about the point of a rogue agent, and will decentralization help in mitigating that?
Well, I would say no. Unfortunately, I mean, if the agent doing something bad or doing something wrong,
Mm,
I mean, the AI, let's say, the decentralized AI may not help that. It's tough. It's much more like something like, okay, for example, blockchain, right?
mm,
So blockchain can record any information and make it
yeah.
immutable,
Mm,
right? But it cannot stop the bad transactions or
mm,
criminal transactions. But the only thing is like if you do criminal transaction, I can trace you
yeah.
back. I can trace you.
Yeah.
But this is what I can do. I cannot stop you do bad criminal
Mm,
transactions. No, no way, right? So the
right.
same logic. Yeah, DAI can give you certain level of transparency, can give you
Mm.
traceability if you do something wrong, but I cannot stop it if you do it.
I guess it's in the context of AI agents which are managed, which run on centralized infrastructure, or the AI agent itself is controlled or operated by a centralized company. And if they were to abuse it in a form and not have traceability, and that's where blockchain could come in and
Right.
enforce a layer of accountability and transparency over there.
Exactly.
All right. No, fantastic sort of diving into all of these aspects of, really, there's been so much talk around deepen and decentralized AI, but to kind of go into each of the components and, look at how, where they are right now, and the fact that it's so early, just like crypto technology, blockchain technology is today, just like DeFi is. Everything is so early, but the promise is so huge. So, and it's really about you know, as you said, about extending oneself on all dimensions to touch that boundary, touch the
Yeah.
art.
Yeah.
So that's very inspiring. Max, what are we celebrating today? What do we toast to?
Well, yeah, because I want to take this opportunity to celebrate the successful launch of our key product or data hub.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is the one of the first decentralized data collection platform in the world, and we
Mm-hmm.
are very honored to be one of the first, and so far, and I will say the largest, because we after we launched this product for like uh, less than 3 months, I think we already have 120,000 data contributors around the world to join us and covering like more than tens of countries.
Mm-hmm.
And we on the daily active users, we already surpass the like 30K daily active user. Very amazing numbers without without any big marketing campaign so far. It's all organic, and
Mm-hmm.
we see the great potential down the road. And I want to I just want to celebrate this with everyone, and especially want to give my uh, appreciation to all the data contributors on our data hub platform so far. Without you, we're going to go nowhere. And let's build this whole the greatest platform data AI data collection platform in the world together down the road. So
Mm-hmm. Well, I toast to that and to a future of decentralized AI. Fantastic having you on Alpha and Ash. Thoroughly enjoy the conversation. Thanks, Max.
thank you very much, and let's stay in touch.